Hello viewers, Super GT here. So I haven't done many videos like this where I've just showed you one race. This race was a really good one. I'm pleased to bring it to you and hopefully you enjoy it. I'm going for the Dodge Viper, as you can see here. Modern GT endurance once again. It seems to be the only hopper where I can actually find any joy in this game. So that's why I'm playing it so much. And we're going to go off the line. The Porsche RSR there on our right hand side going past into the lead immediately. So we can have a bit of a challenge here. The Porsche is a very good car. And I thought, I was driving it a lot in this hopper, so I thought I'll go with the Viper, something a little bit different. Looking at the inside of the Porsche, he's going to now have the inside for the next turn of turn 4. So he's going to remain ahead for now. So this track, Homestead Miami, is a cool track. I do enjoy this one. Lots of straight lines, lots of very sharp corners as well. So you do need a mix of ability. Maybe not so much like high speed downforce corners, not too many of those. But yeah, plenty of straight lines, plenty of sharp corners as well. So maybe your braking ability is very important. As we go into the hairpin of turn number 8, the Porsche is staying ahead. So that's good to see actually. It's going to be a close race, you think. You know, when you're just driving off into the distance or lap 1, that can be very boring indeed. So we're going to see something of a challenge here. Coming into the flying fast left. Looking up the inside, going to go for the lunge and just make contact through there. And he's just going to stay ahead, is he? No, I'm going to go very bravely around the outside. And then I hit the banking at just the wrong angle basically. If you do that, it really just kills your momentum. You kind of don't turn when you just hit it and you go straight on. So not good. You see the advantage the Porsche has built up already, although on the brakes really pulling it right back in straight away. Looking up the inside, great contact, very small amount. He doesn't seem to have been affected by it though. That's good to see. Good car control from him, taking the maximum speed through there. I think I have a bit of a speed deficit on this car. You see the Porsche just maybe pulling away slightly, so it's going to be quite hard for me to overtake him. Going into one of the corners, probably have to go for a Daniel Ricciardo mega lunge of the century, or just hope that he makes a mistake, more likely. So we're beginning to pull away, beginning to gap the rest of the pack, but that is not going to be what this race is all about. It's not going to be a direct duel between me and this guy. You'll see later. It's going to develop a little bit further. Now, making a bit of a mistake there. We do have 15 laps to try to really be consistent here. You don't want to really give the other guy a massive lead because it's just going to give him more and more confidence as the race goes on. You're going to try to keep on his tail as much as possible, even if you're not really fast enough to go past. You just really got to try to keep that pressure up, and of course staying within the range of slipstream. That can be quite important as well. That can be worth a few attempts per lap if you can stay within slipstreaming range. Coming through the very fast left of turn 1, braking just before the tarmac change for turn 2, and you can use the little blue tarmac on the outside there if you take enough speed. Nicely into turn 3. The tune for this car seems very good, very orientated towards acceleration, so the top speed not quite the best compared to other cars in the division, but it is a very good manageable car to drive and very good on the handling circuits. As I say though, this is more of perhaps a speed circuit, or it's hard to say really. You do need acceleration here, and you do need a bit of top speed as well, so perhaps I've gone too far towards acceleration. We'll see if that is going to pay off in the long run for the other guy though, because he's chosen perhaps a better car. But I didn't want to use the Porsche again because I've been using it so much, and perhaps it's nice to have a change. So exit of turn number 8, onto the oval once again, lap number 3, as we come flying towards turn number 10, very fast sweeping left, really nice to take right. You see there how much I pull up on him, massive gains through there, gains of the century. Now coming through the final chicane, can we just pull onto the back of him? Not quite. We'll pretty much try and stick to the grey tarmac area, and he makes a big error, just sliding as he hit the banking. You see there, if you get it wrong with too much power, it will mess you up in big ways. The track isn't very forgiving that way. I realise I just said on the grey tarmac, it's all grey. I mean like the darker grey, where all the tyre rubber's been laid down. Into the infield once again, maximising the track width, We're going to skip to the end of lap number 5, as this is where I'm going to go for my mandatory pit stop, maximising the entrance by just going as wide as possible and keeping the speed up through there. On the exit, re-emerging in 6th place. Now this is quite an important detail to note as we exit here, because we have the guy behind us on the map, maybe 2 corners behind, F4H South, about 600 feet. So at this moment, nothing too much of a threat. He has pitted already, so we do have the exact same strategy to go from here. We're basically both going from here to the end of the race, so it's pretty much a matter of me just try to keep him at bay. I'm not sure what car he's driving at this point. It'll be interesting to see. Get way too much speed through there. You see the physics went all weird. The world just, I don't know, messed up in terms of physics. Up the inside, mega lunge on the Jaguar, up into 5th place. A little bit too hot though, and I'm going to lose momentum on the exit. That's what happens when you go too fast into a corner. You are slow on the way out, and then I have to concede 5th place once again, back down to 6th. Going to lose lots of time. F4H South is going to have gained a lot of time based on that alone. Up the inside, mega lunge. It's going to be 3 abreast coming into turn 4. I go in deep, look for the outside line. It's worked. Up into 4th place. That was a good move there. I think when you are in the sandwich there, the meat in the middle, you kind of have to just brake late and merge and try to get yourself out of it the best way you can. And I think that worked very well. Up into 4th place. This is the downside perhaps of pitting early. You're going to come out in traffic, you're going to lose time. I've already lost a couple of seconds just battling these guys. Now credit to this guy, a back marker, just moving off to the right hand side, just backing off the throttle, let me go quite nicely. By this point I was in the lead. F4H South, a mere 400 feet behind. Perhaps my mind was just on that back marker, whether or not he was just going to ram into me. He didn't, but I've lost another maybe half a second to a second there with that critical error. We'll see if it's critical. I think the back marker just all over the grass there as South comes by. Into turn 8, the hairpin, nicely planted through there on the exit. No drama at all. Very good going. Now this is the end of lap number 11. Onto the oval, onto the main straight. So we have 4 laps remaining, and as we look behind there, we can see South. He's in the Chevrolet, the ZR1. From what I can tell as well, that's a very good car for this division. So it's going to be hard work, I think, to try to keep him at bay. He's done his work basically. He's really reeled me in. So we come out of the pits at the start of lap 5, and by the start of lap 12 he's already on me. He's reeled in 600 feet in 6 or 7 laps. So now it's going to be a really hard defensive job to try to keep him at bay, try to keep him behind and try to win this race. But this is what it's all about really. Just fair, respectful racing between a couple of guys who know the boundaries basically. We've had very good racing with South before. You may recall a video on Forza Motorsport 6 around Catalonia. I think I was in the F4 GT, he was in the Celine, and it was a really good race between us, pushing each other to the limit. On that occasion I think he came out on top. But we're going to see how this one pans out. We're going to see how this one continues, going very quick through there, almost going onto the grass. If I was onto the grass there, that would have been game over. Would have just dragged me wide for days. Now going through the final corner, just hooking that up nicely. You don't want to go too fast through there, you will just mess yourself up. Just going to cover him off. I'm going to go defensive, force him to the right hand side, which is the outside, into turn 1. And again, a slightly defensive looking line, very late on the brakes. Too late on the brakes. It's going to open up the door for him. He's up the inside. I opened the door and he went flying through it. No mercy from South. But we're going to try to perhaps just keep on his tail the best we can. We saw that he was very quick. He's been reeling me in the whole race, maybe a couple of tenths per lap. I really have to concentrate fully now to try to keep the pressure back on him and not let him get away at all. If he gets away, then he's just going to have an easy run to the end. If I can just stay within 100 feet or so, maybe keep that pressure up and wait for a back marker or something, or a mistake, then there might be a way past into the hairpin, very deep, but coming back for a late apex. Not too bad from there. I think we're both pretty much the same through that complex. So 2 and a bit laps remaining as we come up towards turn number 10. Fast sweeping left. Maybe turned a little bit too early, but actually I think we're both about the same through there. Good to see. Good consistency between us. And then into the final chicane. Difficult one to get right. And again, of course, got to try to hit the curb, or hit the banking at the right angle. I think that's is it the C5 or the ZR1? Sorry, just a bit of a speed advantage on the straight. Not too much. And on the brakes though, I think that's where I'm going to gain. I think that's the main strength of this tune, if anything, on the brakes. Less than 2 laps remaining. Late lunge there into turn number 3, into turn number 4. Still very close, although on the exit he just gets that speed advantage. We do have a back marker up ahead. Is that person going to play a part in this story? Let's see. Into turn number 6, going nice and early, hook up with the apex, and then he's actually using a lot of the extra tarmac there very cleverly, keeping 2 wheels within the lines, so it's perfectly legal. That's absolutely maximising the track to the absolute limit, really trying to maximise our lap time, so it's good driving on the whole from South. I'm still just about keeping on his tail. He's just made a mistake there, got on the power a little bit too soon, and that's going to allow me to close the gap right back up. So he had a bit of a differential there going, but now I'm right back on him. He's gone very wide there, very, very wide, and back up the inside into turn 12, into the final chicane, turn 13 and 14. So status quo has changed. It's going to change once again. I hit it again at the wrong angle. I must learn my lesson there. I was just afraid that I was going to go too slow and let him in down the straight. So once again back down to 15th, the beginning of the final lap. The Jaguar up ahead just drives himself straight off the track. Probably the best thing he could have done though, just gets right out of the way. Looking for a lunge, South very sideways on the brakes, so he loses a bit of momentum there. He's going to stay ahead though. I'm going to get a much better run there, as I'm with a much wider line going in. And it's going to be a drag race. I think we're about the same actually, perhaps just because I got a slightly better run up the inside. I'm just going to have to hook up the apex, park it on the apex, make sure he does not do a cutback on me, and that's going to be a theme here I think to the end. I'm just going to absolutely go defensive as possible, defensive AF mode right now, park the bus mode, into the final hairpin, very, very sharp hairpin, very defensive, and again hook up with the apex, park it on the apex, ride the challenge, just wait for him to make that contact on the rear bumper and then accelerate and get away. Going to go defensive, force him to the right hand side. We've already done this a couple of laps ago. Into the fast left and make sure he doesn't go up my left hand side here. I can see that arrow moving. He wasn't quite brave enough to go for the move. Into the last couple of corners, I've got to make sure I don't hit that banking the wrong angle. I take a very nice shallow line, and wow, I'm absolutely breathless at the end of that. We're going to cross the line and it's going to be a win. Now I think he made a couple of mistakes which were crucial really, but I mean I had to be there to capitalise on them. So in the end it was a really good race, really good battling between the two of us. So I mean I would have quite happily finished second because of just how good the race was. You don't get many like that. It's a good reason I think to bring this race to you on its own. So really good to see that guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course if you're new, smash the like button and subscribe. I hope to see you next time. As always, thank you for watching. Goodbye.